Welcome to episode 2 of The Road to Riches. My name is Sebastian, and in this YouTube journey, YouTube series, I'm going to go all the way from being an average guy just like you, all the way to becoming a millionaire. I'm a little bit late in this second episode because I've had a few setbacks, and this is the third time that I'm recording this clip. I've had issues where the microphone was off, blah, 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 a whole bunch of problems, but what matters is we do not give up. That is one of the main lessons that I want you to extract from this channel. So in this episode, we're going to be talking about structure and accountability. Because I'm sure that if you're watching this video, you've had several projects or ideas throughout your life which sounded really good, but then you didn't actually follow through. And it's very easy to happen. We're constantly filled with distractions, and things such as reading books or doing online courses makes us feel like we're being productive without actually being productive. Because following through, taking action is probably the hardest thing and the thing that people most fought with, including myself. I've had several ideas throughout the years of my life, and I didn't actually follow through with any of them except this YouTube channel. And now my other ventures such as the hotel videography business, my Instagram, all these sorts of things. The thing was simply understanding that taking action is much better than having a perfect plan. For structure, in order to make sure that we don't waste time, to make sure that we stay accountable, we need to plan our weeks ahead. So instead of thinking, right, this week I need to be something that's going to get me closer to my end goal, which in my case is becoming a millionaire, it's much better to have a clearly defined goal. For example, where I am in my hotel videography business is in a stage where I already have my portfolio, I've got my website built, I've got email templates built, I've got follow-up email templates built, I have a few leads. So what I essentially need to do is reach out to more people and improve my outreach strategy. And right now I shouldn't be focusing on anything else. So I just need to define, right, throughout this next week, I'm going to reach out to, let's say, 10 new leads. I'm going to follow up with 5 leads that I reached out to last week. I'm going to test 1 or 2 new email templates. I'm going to test 1 or 2 new lead follow-up email templates and go from there. And then at the end of the week, I should be assessing what I did, measure the success in some way. For example, how many people replied to template A, how many people replied to template B. Did I get more replies using follow-ups, or did I get more replies using just the first email pitch? All these sorts of things, which then should allow me to define the strategy for next week. But this implies thinking very consciously about what your short-term goal is, what's going to get you closer to that short-term goal, which in my case is getting my first customer retainer so that I can start to have some steady income in my hotel videography business. So that's what I'm focused on. And that obviously starts with first getting people to reply to my email. Then I need to get them from the email onto a call. Then I need to get them from the call to a sale. Then from that sale, I need to get them to a monthly retainer and not just a single project, because in my opinion, that's a better business model. And you just create a business relationship with them. You get steady income. You can make sales projections throughout the year. You can measure success. You can measure the impact of the work you're doing with these people, as opposed to when it's just a one-off project. At least in this type of business, I don't think it's as ideal. So this is the mission that I'm on right now. These tasks that I told you about, adjusting the email templates, pitching to X amount of clients, are things that are specific to me. Now, in your case, it could be something else. I could give you the example of other ventures. Let's talk about the YouTube channel that you're watching. So I need to think about where I am in my journey on this road to riches, how I'm going to explain to you where I am, what I'm doing, and what progress I've made from where I was before, how I'm going to add value to you, and how I'm going to structure the episode so that it's also captivating, provides value, all of these things. So just thinking about these things in general doesn't really help much. It's much more helpful if you say, right, on Monday, I've got 1 hour before work that I could squeeze in some work on my personal project. So let's say from 7 to 8 a.m., I need to reach out to 2 new leads. I need to get 5 new contacts in for my hotel videography business. And I also need to write down the theme and rough outline of the script for my next YouTube video. That will be a very, very productive hour of work. Then let's say I've got another 30 minutes during lunchtime. I need to define 1 or 2 tasks that I should be accomplishing in that time. For example, editing an Instagram reel, or scripting out an Instagram reel, or editing a little bit of this YouTube video. But if you have your day structured and you know exactly what you need to do within that day to get you closer to your goal, it's going to be much more realistic that you're actually moving forward and not just saying that you're going to do something, but then never actually getting closer to that goal. To give you some context, I decided that I was going to reach out to customers and build my videography business over a year ago, a year and 3 months ago to be exact. The most important thing that I did was literally pitch. My pitches weren't perfect. I was calling them up, asking them for the best direct contact. Then I was reaching out via email and I was just saying, look, I need to build the portfolio, so I'm going to work for free, give you a 30 to 40 second video. We'll go from there. Obviously, the first person that I reached out to didn't respond. The second person that I reached out to didn't respond, but I was adjusting my strategy and I was relentless in my pursuit. And it didn't take much. Actually, I think within 3 or 4 different contacts that I reached out to, I got some people that said, right, you can come over and film. So I got 3 hotels to let me go there and film for free. Obviously, it's not ideal, but it is a foundation. Now, I'm in a stage where I'm re-pitching to these hotels and providing content that I was able to grab when I was there working for free and try and sell it to them, which has already happened with one of my clients. So taking action is the most important thing, and not just researching the best approach to sales, researching the best videography skills. You just need to execute. You'll get better over time. That's the most important lesson that you can take from this video and from this channel in general, is just take action and don't try to be a perfectionist, because that usually leads nowhere. It leads to frustration, it leads to inactivity, and it doesn't lead to success or accomplishing your end goal. Now let's talk about accountability. We've got structure, right? We define on Monday we're going to do X, Y, and Z. But how are we going to actually make sure that we're going to follow through? Now, I'm a very disciplined person, but even for me, if I don't remind myself constantly of the things that I need to do, it's very easy to start doing something else and think about, oh yeah, I should have worked on my video business today, but right, I'll make up for it tomorrow because I got distracted doing this, this, and that. That doesn't work. That doesn't get you closer to your goal. That doesn't maximize every single minute that you have in your day. And if there's one thing that we don't have in abundance, time. So we need to stay accountable, and we need to follow through with the things we say we are going to do. My favorite approach for accountability is simply having a checklist, and a checklist that you actually check. So you can obviously write down everything you need to do in your phone, but then if you never check it, you're not going to have that constant reminder, that constant pressure that you need to do these things. So my suggestion would be, if you feel like this will work for you, get your checklist. You could do it in the Todoist app, you could do it in your iPhone notes, whatever it is, and get into the habit of checking your checklist at least 3 times per day. Once in the morning, so you see, right, this is what I need to do, and you get straight to work. Then at lunchtime, you need to see, this is what I had to do, this is what I've already done up until this point. Am I on the right track? If not, adjust the strategy and try to get as much done as possible. Finally, at the end of the day, where you're going to measure the success of your day, possibly still do something if you can, and adjust the strategy for the next day to make sure that things go as well or better the next day, and that you're constantly moving closer to your end goal. If the checklist thing doesn't work for you, if you think you're not going to be pressured enough by this checklist to take action, then I would suggest something a bit more invasive. It could be annoying, but some people need to be annoyed in order to move forward. So you could do this by simply setting an alarm in your phone. Let's say you know you've got a free block at 7 a.m., a free block at midday, and a free block at 5 p.m. You should be setting alarms for those times on your phone with a description of what you need to do. For example, between 7 to 8 a.m., you get that alarm and it says research 10 new leads to outreach. Then at midday, it says edit YouTube video you should be posting on Saturday. Anything like that, which gives you a specific call to action so that you're constantly reminded, right, I said that I was going to do this, I better get to it. Another way would be setting up your calendar, or Google Calendar, whatever it is that you use, to remind you of these tasks. And this involves a little bit more planning, because you should be breaking up every single hour of your day into what you need to be doing. For example, 7 to 7:30 a.m. you need to be doing X, 7:30 to 8:15 you should be doing Y. Then let's say you've got your 9 to 5 job, then during your lunchtime you've got midday to midday 45, you've got another task to do. So it involves planning down everything very detailed, and that can be hard, but it also can be very, very effective. And then you need to understand if you're going to be checking your calendar a lot of times, much like a checklist, or if you should set up alerts from your calendar to receive an email, a push notification, a WhatsApp notification, a Slack notification to just remind you, right, you've got this coming up, you better get to it. So these are all strategies that work. It's going to depend on your preference, your personality type, how much you use technology, all this sort of thing. So try them out. Let me know what works for you. And have you tried any of these strategies before? If so, let me know which one is the one you prefer and which one you found the most success with. Now that we've talked a little bit about structure and discipline, structure and accountability, I'm going to tell you where I am in my journey specifically. I already have my business portfolio set up. I've already got my website, all this sort of thing. So I'm just trying to get new clients. I'm doing cold outreach via email, or I'm calling them up, the hotels up directly, and asking for a direct contact for the marketing team, someone who's going to be a decision maker when it comes to allocating budget for video. A lot of the times they don't give me a direct contact and they just say, right, you can just send your email to our general contact and we'll then forward this to the right person, which has given me, let's say, at the moment, a 25% response rate, which is not too bad, but usually the responses have been negative, saying that they're not interested. So what am I doing? I'm pitching to essentially every hotel that's around this area, and I'm looking at the ones who reply, the nicest hotels within this block, the ones that are going to give me the best portfolio. As at the moment, I'm not desperate for income because I've got my 9-to-5 job. What I'm starting to do is, for these nice hotels who say, thank you for your email, but we're not interested at the minute, I do a follow-up. And I said, okay, I understand you're not interested. I just reached out because I noticed this, and that, which could give you extra income or could get you a higher conversion rate, whatever it is that I identify on their website or their social media, something like that. If they still don't follow up or they say, right, we're still not interested, what I'll do is I'll say, okay, I'm going to do a 30 to 45 second video for you for free. You've got nothing to lose, and this will just help me build my portfolio. So I did that this week. I reached out to this hotel called Fortaleza do Guincho Hotel, which is super, super nice. It's an old fort which has been converted into a hotel in the Guincho beach close to Cascais. In Cascais, if you haven't been here, you should go there. It's absolutely amazing. Don't miss that opportunity if you're visiting Cascais. And I said I'm going to do it free because worst case scenario, I just get a really, really nice hotel in my portfolio. And as I don't really have any paid work at the moment, it will at least give me something to use as a hook for other hotels. And since it's a big hotel and a renowned hotel, having this in my portfolio can also help me just create brand awareness and proof of work, because other hotels can see, oh right, he worked with this hotel, so he must be good, because they don't know if they've paid me or not. So it just gives your brand recognition, which is always good. It so happened that after I sent this pitch, they said, oh, could we set up a phone call to talk about this? So I called them up, and my strategy was, I need to get as much information as possible so that I can use this information against them. So it's not against them, because what I want to do is make them more money, but sometimes they're a little pushy and they don't want to give you money to then make money. That happens a lot. The strategy is to ask as many useful questions as possible. For example, what is your niche? Are you finding any barriers in reaching this niche? What is your competition doing that you're not doing? What is your greatest competition? All these sorts of questions which are going to give me more insights into what they're trying to accomplish, what they're currently doing, which I can look at, and then hopefully provide suggestions to achieve these goals, which they said that will give me a really, really nice foundation to pitch. So I was having this phone conversation with them and asking them a bunch of questions, and it turns out they said, look, we're actually going to start investing more in social media and video content. We haven't up till now, just because the higher ups didn't want to allocate budget to this, but they've understood that in this competitive market, everyone is venturing into video, so we need to do this as well. And we are in negotiations with another team, but if we do like your video, we could potentially move forward with you next year, which is exactly what I wanted. So after pushing back a little bit on their rejection, I actually got a window of opportunity where all I have to do is work for free, which in the worst case scenario will give me a really good portfolio foundation. In the best case scenario, it's giving me an opportunity to get my first retainer. The lesson here is, first of all, don't be demoralized by setbacks or pushback. Just find a way to creatively push back against their pushback and try to provide value and try and get an into their business. The second thing is, don't be afraid to work for free if you see that you have upside. Because if you're working with someone which you can then list on your website as having worked with them, and this is a well-known brand, a well-known client, that could help your brand gain recognition. Now, this won't always be applicable, but in this case, in my example, it is. The same could be used, for example, let's say you're doing social media marketing and you go and work with an influencer for free. You being able to put on your portfolio that you worked with that influencer, if it is a renowned person, that will give you credibility, because other people don't know if you work with them for free or not. You can literally say, this is what I did, these are the results they had, and I worked with them. So that will give your brand awareness, and it will give people confidence in your brand. We've ended the business part of this video. If you're interested in seeing a little bit more about my personal life, about my other endeavors, stay stay tuned because we're going for a nice gym session. If you're just interested in the business portion, you can stop here. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to stay tuned for this journey, gain a lot more insights into this journey that I'm going through, and I hope you're going through as well, so that we build together towards our dream life. Don't forget to join our Telegram community Thrive Hub, which will be linked in the description, and obviously leave me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. I'd love to have a chat. For those of you who want to go to the gym, have a little chat over there, stay tuned. Let's get into it. Let's go. First set, we're aiming for 8 to 10 reps here. And much like in everything else we do in life, we should be tracking the progress. I haven't got a logbook at the moment, but the time that I was most effective with progressing the loads, I was just writing stuff down in my iPhone notes. And I would just copy paste the workout every time I was starting a new workout and just adjust the load and reps that I was using. So on this machine, we're going to start with 40 kilos, hopefully get 8 reps. Let's see how it goes. Just got 8. That 8th one was a struggle, so hopefully next workout I'll get the 8th one clean, or even possibly 8.5 or 9 reps. Let's see, but I'm going to stick with this 40 kilo load. One tip that I could give you in preacher curls in general is when you're coming up, when you're flexing your arm, try and push your elbow down into the pad. It's going to give you a nice base for support, and that's going to allow you to produce more force in the bicep, and hopefully that will allow you to use a little bit more weight or just go for a little bit more reps. That is it. Gonna knock a few more of these out, another 3 sets, gonna slightly back down on the weight, and then we'll move on to triceps. Hope you can hear me over the sound, over the song. So, haven't even adjusted the weight. We're moving on to triceps now, and the goal here is to overload the lengthen position. And this is an exercise I got from Kasim Hansen, like most of my advanced exercises are, where we cross the arm across the body and let it really stretch here. This supposedly really works the outer head of the tricep, which is my smallest head. If you look, got this inner head pretty developed, but then this outer head is really underdeveloped. And this exercise, even if it's just based on feel, I do get more sore in the outer part of the tricep, and I do feel it contract more during this exercise. So this has been my main tricep builder. And of course it overloads the lengthened as well, which is where we're going to get more hypertrophy. So just doing a little bit of a warm up here, then we're going to move into some working sets. Much like with biceps, we're going to do 4 sets to failure, to concentric failure. We're not doing negative reps, we're not doing rest pauses or drop sets. It's just concentric failure for the moment. 4 sets, 1 top set, and then 3 back off sets where I progressively adjust the load according to my level of fatigue to keep it in that 8 to 10 rep range, ideally. And then we've got 3 sessions where we do arms every week. And so that accumulates to a total of 12 sets to failure for biceps and for triceps every single week. Then we'll slowly progress that, adding intensity techniques or adding volume, maybe through exercise, maybe through sets. We shall see. What Coach Kasim says about this exercise for the triceps is that when you're in a slightly elevated position, slightly abducted position for the arm, this head of the tricep has to work a little more than the others. Let's get into the first working set. Just got 10 there. Not easy. Reached point of failure pretty closely at the same point with both arms, so that means we're on the right track. Both arms are looking more or less symmetrical. Gonna bang out another 3 sets of this, and then we're gonna move on to forearms. Just realized I did a clip talking about the exercise in vertical mode because I was shooting for Instagram stories, Instagram reels, whatever. So just 1 exercise for forearms. We're gonna do reverse curls on the cable here, working this muscle, which I can't remember the name of. Brachioradialis, I don't know, this top part. Then on another arm day, I'm gonna do some wrist curls to work more this part of the elbow flexors, wrist flexors. So I'm not a PT anymore, guys. Just forget it. Anything I get wrong, doesn't matter. Point is, I'm doing stuff with good technique and the programming is good as well. So if you want to take any pointers on that, please do. They're free. Let's get to work. This is already my second set, so I've lowered the weight 5 kilos. Should get 8 reps. Right on the money, guys. 8 reps. That was not easy, but we got it done. Lowered another 5 kilos for the next 2 sets. I'm gonna bang out another 2. Then I think we're gonna move on to front delts if the machine I want to use is free. Otherwise, we'll do side delts first. Okay, so this machine is absolutely incredible because you can do a bunch of adjustments on the height of the levers. You can do adjustments on the height of the bench. So this is really, really good. So you can work in a range of motion that doesn't hurt your shoulders. Since I'm getting a bit strong in my shoulder press, getting dumbbells up here is not very comfortable, and I don't like the position of a barbell. It forces your joints too much. So this machine is literally perfect. And this is a new addition. It arrived this month at the gym, so might as well take advantage. This is going to be my top set, pretty heavy. Let's see how it goes. Too heavy for what I wanted to get those 8 reps, only got 6, but nice to see how this is moving with 2 plates. Almost done, just a little bit of side delts here, then we're going to do calves. 4 sets to failure, 1 top set and then 3 back off sets. Let's go. Right team, we are back home. A lot of work to do. That was a really, really good gym session. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a bit lengthy and a lot of sitting down talking, so I'm going to stop. Hopefully the next videos will be a little bit more dynamic and showing the day-to-day of what I'm doing. Although, to be truthful, hustling, getting to work, building your empire involves sitting down for hours and hours on your phone and on your laptop in the modern day. That's just how it is. So if you want to be successful, get ready for a lot of sitting down and a lot of screen time. Thank you so much for watching the video this far. Please leave a like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.